So these give off more of like a leatherwork vibe with the stitching accents on them. It makes me think of leather. It's a little firmer of an EVA. There's not a lot of compression, but they have a really well designed and supportive footbed to them. The ergonomic support is really good. So these aren't too bad. I do recommend them. I just don't think they fit with my personal style tastes. All right, I think we're good. We got another UGG here. This is the UGG Slide It. I really don't have a backstory on these. They're in a massive box. I wasn't sure what was in here. There really wasn't anything that was an indicator of what was in it. But I, process of elimination, figured out these were the UGGs. So, I just picked these up after I did the previous one. I kind of wanted to do another UGG video. Not that those Wilcox slides were really any good, but it's just a brand that I haven't really done much on. So I recall seeing these when I was kind of trying to research the Wilcox a little bit, and I thought I would give them a shot. I think I went down in size. Yeah, I went with an 11. And they look a little small. They look a little narrow. The arch looks back a little much. All right, I need to approach this from a different angle. I'm already cynical. So I kind of, I thought these looked halfway decent. I'm not sure what drew me to them other than the fact that they were just a slide. I think I was kind of optimistic on the EVA. It feels a little firm though. All right, let's, before we dive in too much, sorry, this is a very poorly organized video so far. All right, let's get them out the box. I think they're gonna be too small though, just at a glance. They look a little narrow for my foot and a little short. I'm starting to get good at just a visual identification on the sizing. So let's, I got the website pulled up. We'll read it. I like this little tab, that's firm though. All right. This is on the UGG website. They've got a Memorial Day sale going on right now. These retail for $50. The details. This is it. The ultra versatile and comfortable Slide It features a foam upper and outsole and a dual density foam footbed for an extra cush feel. Perforated details bring additional breathability to this warm weather shoe. This product was made in a factory that supports women in our supply chain with the help of Her Project. This collaborative initiative creates partnerships with brands like ours to empower and educate women in the workplace. Perforated detailing, dual density upper, dual density foam footbed, dual density EVA outsole, the UGG graphic logo on vamp, the UGG logo on footbed. I don't know what vamp is. And I think that is it. Yep, that's it. So their sizing was telling me that I needed to go up to a 13, which seems a little much. Maybe a 12 would have been the better size, because these do look small. But we'll find out in a moment. So they have lots of little perforations. They're rather small though, and they're kind of inset. It's kind of, it's like a little crater with the holes in the bottom of it. There's a lot of them. I do kind of like this detailing on the top though. It seems a little more feminine of a detail. These give off a little more of a feminine vibe to them than they do a male vibe. I do like this, yeah, these are little hearts. Yeah. It's not super distinct, but there's just double V's basically, but it kind of makes a little heart shape. So, I don't know. This isn't too bad up here, but there's our seam from the mold. There's our UGG logo. Maybe this is the vamp that they referenced on vamp. So I might have went the wrong size, but I kind of planned on returning these anyways. So I really like the outsole though. That's really nice. We got kind of a starburst sun pattern radiating from the middle. radiating from the arch. So that looks pretty nice visually. And then there's kind of like some waves there on the side, you can see. So it kind of dips in, which is a cool effect. That's a pretty cool looking outsole. But other than that, they kind of look like a leather sandal. Just between these details and the way these notches are, these air holes, it just makes me think of like a leather sandal, but it is all EVA. So I think that's everything. Let's see if we can get a look at the ergos. I recall the Wilcox, oh, my other light isn't even on. I recall the Wilcox kind of having a more rearward oriented arch, and this kind of looks similar to that. There's a bit of a plateau in the back after the arch rise, and you can kind of see it's a little center dominant arch, but then it kind of you can see that it kind of angles across, and then it dips down where the ball of the foot is, and the toe box looks a little small where this opening is. I'm probably going to have issues with my smaller toes getting kind of cramped right on this side, but we will know for sure when we put them on. So I sized down. I went with an 11, and that was based on a review I read that they were rather large, but the review was a female review, so maybe for men's you might want to size up, and for women's you might want to size down. But let's find out for sure. We'll throw them on foot. All right, I got these Skechers Arch Fit on right now. These are fantastic. I really like these. Check out that video if you haven't already. These have a very, very nice ergonomic footbed to them, and they look kind of cool. All right, let's slide into these. Okay, the sizing isn't as small as I thought. It's kind of an exact fit, so maybe going down was the right way. They feel like they have a bit of a platform effect to them. That midsole is pretty chunky. I feel like I have at least an inch and a half, maybe 2-inch platform. So these are a little elevated. The ergonomic form actually feels very good with my feet. It's kind of lining up perfectly. The arch doesn't feel like it's back too far. And the fit is pretty exact. I've got just enough room in the toe box area. My toes don't feel like they're crunched. The width is just perfect. It doesn't feel narrow, but it feels kind of wide enough that I've got a little bit of play on the front, and there's a little bit of play under the strap, but it's snug enough that it probably won't feel sloppy. And these come back far enough too that I really don't have a heel rise, you can see, even from that angle. There's no heel rise. So the fit's pretty good on these. I actually think I went the right way with the sizing. So maybe going down in size is the right way to go. And I wouldn't trust the sizing app on the web page, because I went through there and I filled it out based on my sizing with Crocs. I said that a 12 Crocs is my go-to size, and then they recommended that I get these in a 13. But I think it was in reference to the width, because I had measured the width of my foot and plugged that info in, and I think they were basing the 13 recommendation on width alone. But the width of these is fine. I don't feel like I need anything wider. So this is actually good sizing. So ignore their sizing app. I would just go down to the next size, like if you're on a half, just round down, and they should be okay. I'm not sure how I'm digging the aesthetics on these though. They're just not really talking to me. They're just not really jiving with me as far as the aesthetics. They have a little more of a feminine feel to them, but the fit is right on point though. So the foam is rather firm. I'm not feeling much compression. This thing is poking into me though. Let me rotate this. There, that's better. So it's a relatively firm EVA. I'm not really having much compression underfoot, but the ergos are pretty good though. They're contouring to my foot pretty well. So I went with the Dune color. I think they had 3 different color options. I think it was just a white and a black and then this kind of khaki Dune, they called it. So relatively neutral color and kind of minimal color options. But they're very firm. The EVA is rather firm. I'm not really getting any flex in the strap, in the top strap as I walk. They're just kind of rocking and pivoting underfoot. So they have a little bit of a clunky feel to them, but they're not uncomfortable. They're not really bending or flexing at all. They're just kind of rocking underfoot. So there's really not much of a rocker effect to them either. The toe is a little rounded, so like once I get up to this point, then it'll tip forward a little bit, but it's pretty much just kind of a flat, clunky walk characteristic. So let's get the down low footage. I don't think we need to make this one long. So I don't know how they look from down low, but you can see there's very little heel rise when I raise my foot because that strap comes back so far. So they kind of feel a little clunky. They're a little loose. Like even though that strap isn't super super loose on my foot, they still feel a little loose. I don't know. I mean, it might just be the lack of elasticity in this particular EVA that it's not really flexing at all with me. It's just kind of retaining its form. So within that, like it's kind of loose fitting, very casual fit. But they're comfortable. It's just a firmer footbed, more of an ergonomic form to it that's retaining its integrity, I guess. It's not compressing really or shifting or anything. It's just kind of holding its form. So it's not a bad thing. It's just on that firmer end of the spectrum as far as the EVA goes. There's a little bit of compression when I put my weight on it, but there's not a lot when I'm walking. So, I mean, these aren't too bad, but they're definitely on the firmer end of the spectrum. And I think they're kind of more on the feminine end of the spectrum too in terms of the aesthetics. So, they're not too bad though. I kind of like how they feel on foot. Like they're pretty comfortable. I'm not sure if I would wear them though, just based on the aesthetics. They don't look bad though. They remind me of like a moccasin or something, just with those little details. They're kind of like those little tribal etches on them, little tribal details almost. It just makes me think of like leatherwork, the kind of stitching accents, you know? It makes me think of leatherwork and like moccasins. So, which makes sense because UGG is a lot of more leather-oriented footwear. So I get it for them to put those accents and those details on them. So these aren't too bad. Actually, I'm digging them. I'm kind of digging them, but I just don't think I'd end up wearing them, so I'm probably gonna send them back. But these actually I would recommend them. This is a positive experience on foot. These are quite comfortable, but I just don't think they fit me in terms of whatever style I have. Not that I really have much of a style, but just what I identify with. I don't really identify with these so much. Maybe back in my more hippie days, I would kind of go for this kind of look a little more, but right now I'd rather wear these Skechers. So just where I'm at with my own personal tastes, I guess. So I think that's all we need to discuss about these. We'll wrap this up. I don't think it needs to be too long. But yeah, these aren't bad. They're just not for me. So I do recommend them though if you like them. If you think they look good and you want a slide that has a little more of a platform to it, a little more height to it. Like these have a good ergonomic footbed. They have, here, let's get a soundbite. So these give off more of like a leatherwork vibe with the stitching accents on them. It makes me think of leather. It's a little firmer of an EVA. There's not a lot of compression, but they have a really well designed and supportive footbed to them. The ergonomic support is really good. So these aren't too bad. I do recommend them. I just don't think they fit with my personal style tastes. So yeah, all that said, those are my conclusive thoughts about them. So they're not bad. I just don't think they're for me. But if you like them and you want a little more of a platform to them, then I think you would enjoy these. So they've got a 20% off sale right now. I think it's Memorial Day weekend, or I don't know what the weekend is, but there's a sale though I noticed on the UGG website when I pulled up the info on them. So now might be a good time to check them out. But I think that's everything. If anything comes to mind, I will add it during the edit period of this production. But yeah, feel free to leave a comment, start some engagement on this video. Leave a like, subscribe if you made it this far in the video. If you enjoy this kind of content and you want to see more, we've got a lot more coming. So, and I think that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys. Cheers.